MENACE is a sci-fi tactics game set in a remote star system called the Wayback, and sees you as the commander of the TCRN Impetus. Stranded in this system, you will need to take on operations to gain the trust of the factions vying for control across these planets, equipping and upgrading your squads with gear and weapons relevant to the objective. Once on the battlefield, you will engage the enemy through turn-based tactical combat, utilizing your squad's abilities and coordinating their movements to fulfill those objectives. The system-wide strategic layer is not present in this demo, but in this video, we'll walk you through squad management, an overview of the operations you'll be engaged in, and finally, a dive planet side to provide you with the basics of combat, with the hope that your squads will make it out alive to fight to the next mission. And if you prefer to check out a written guide, there's a link in the description to that version on Steam. Let's get into it. It can be tempting to dive right into an operation, but first, we're going to equip our squads. Each squad is led by a squad leader who has their own stats and promotions that allow them to be optimized for specific weapons, accessories, and playstyles. Taking a look at Edwin Pike, we can see he starts with the Stalwart promotion, which means he never flees, and has a different set of morale stances compared to the standard squad. Since we have 60 promotion points available to start, let's use some, and lean into his squad's toughness and give him Die Hard, further reducing incoming damage should he get in a really tight spot and lose too much health. Now, let's change his infantry weapon, selecting the R14A2 ARC, as it has excellent hit point damage and armor damage while also having good armor penetration. Next, we're going to max out the number of squad members, called squaddies, to 8. Noting that with each squaddie we add, it increases the logistics cost as we equip each one with the ARC assault rifle. Let's rename our squaddies by selecting the squaddie's icon in a vain attempt at emotional attachment to keep them alive. It's worth noting that squaddies are not an unlimited resource. When the game releases, you'll have to find a few ways in which to recruit more on the strategic layer, but they're not easily replenished. In the demo, you have a limited amount to take you through any given operation. We can also equip one of our squaddies with an infantry special weapon, and we'll rock with the CMG-50 medium machine gun, as it has great suppression qualities due to the significant rate of fire, something we'll address in the combat section later on. Considering that we're pretty much making Pike into a mobile tanky unit, let's also equip his squad with the Class 4 improved small arms protective plating for its high armor value. Lastly, with 2 accessory slots, let's add some grenades for explosive fun and combat drugs to keep them going even when the going gets tough. This is an expensive squad in terms of logistics, but it'll be worth it to make him essentially unstoppable. With similar considerations in mind, I've gone ahead and equipped our other infantry squads. Jean Sai has a rocket launcher thanks to her Economics 101 and Tank Buster promotions, which make her the ideal anti-tank squad. Cody Greffinger is our short-range, high-suppression specialist. And finally, Renu Riwa, who is a bit different because she's a pilot, is coming in with an AATV, where I've opted for the heavy machine gun mounted on top. When the game releases, there will be several more squad leaders to hire, each with their own specializations, either as infantry squad leaders or as pilots, and there will be a significantly larger variety of equipment as well. Now, let's move on to operations. Operations are relatively straightforward in this demo. An operation is comprised of multiple missions on a single planet with potentially divergent paths that you'll have to pursue to the final objective. This demo features 10 potential mission types you can pursue across procedurally generated operations, so you'll definitely want to run through operations multiple times to see the variety. Each mission has a mission objective, difficulty, logistics limit, and of course, mission rewards. Pay close attention to all of these. Should you have multiple choices, the rewards could allow you to upgrade your squads with special equipment, or even more strategic assets such as additional temporary military forces in another mission of the operation. Once you've made your choice, it's time for mission prep. Mission prep provides an opportunity to review all the information you have before mission launch. The degree of information provided depends on your intelligence level, which for this demo is set at level 2. On release, you won't start with this level of intelligence, however, you will be able to upgrade the impetus with such an upgrade. Because of this high intelligence level, hovering over both civilian and pirate squads will allow you to see what type of unit they are, which could affect where you deploy your own squads. With this in mind, I'll drag my squads to the locations I want them within my deployment zone, adjust my squad loadouts to make sure I'm under the logistics limit, and I'm ready to deploy planetside. Combat in Menace is a turn-based tactical affair, although there are a few mechanics that switch it up from the standard. Every squad on the map has a number of action points, also known as AP, which determines the limit to their actions within a single round. AP can be used to move a squad anywhere within the white border, enter different stances such as the deploy action, fire a weapon, or use an accessory like a grenade or the drone. Unlike most turn-based tactical games, Menace turn orders work on a per faction basis. That is to say, your faction goes first with any one of your choosing. Then every other faction gets to do their turn before returning once more to you. The cycle continues until all factions have their actions across all their squads within a single round. This means you may see several pirate units moving at the end of a round if they outnumber you. It's worth keeping in mind that once you've started using a squad's AP, you have to continue to use that squad's actions, meaning you cannot partially use AP, switch to a new squad, and then return to do something else. If a squad has AP left, it will not be carried over to the next round. There is also no initiative mechanic when determining who goes next in your faction. This means that a squad can move last in one round, then first in the next, providing you with a chance to react appropriately against enemy threats that unveil themselves, or as a way to capitalize on a current situation that arose between rounds. Ambushes are common in Menace, as the fog of war hides enemy positions. We'll want to consider using cover, indicated by the partial to full shield icons, which will minimize the accuracy and damage of any incoming attacks. Units left out in the open are prime targets, and should you ever have to cross such open spaces, it may be worth using the deploy button to get low as a form of cover, but to also increase your own squad's accuracy and be able to use most special infantry weapons. After a few rounds of maneuvering from cover to cover, it's time to finally engage the enemy. Combat itself is a deeply tactical mechanic, and before we simply try to attack the first thing we see, let's hover over our weapon to see the weapon tooltip and get a reminder of its optimal use case. Here, we gain an overview of the weapon's abilities, including various shot types and a list of weapon statistics such as range, damage, and armor penetration. But most importantly, right now, let's focus on the graph at the bottom. This graph shows you an accuracy to hit point damage ratio over distance, which shows us how accurate the weapon is and how much damage the weapon does depending on how many tiles away the target is. There is an optimal tile range for both to consider, and considering that there's a limited amount of ammo for your squads, it might not be worth the spray and pray just because you can see something. You will also want to explore the various attack options available with most weapons. Since each bullet is calculated separately in Menace, the Arc Assault Rifle could deal 12 hit point damage times 3 shots per attack times 8 squaddies. In a perfect world, that's over 280 damage to a single squad in a single attack. Now we're ready for actual combat, and hovering over the enemy with our desired shot brings up another tooltip that provides the accuracy, armor penetration, and suppression chances that the attack will have, as well as the current level of suppression, armor, and health left on the enemy squad. Suppression is a key mechanic in battlefield control, and is represented by the yellow bar above a squad. As suppression increases, a squad will see a reduced amount of AP, lower accuracy, and eventually become pinned down, where they cannot use their actions at all until they recover. Different weapons can lay down suppression more heavily, with shots that hit causing maximum suppression, shots that miss but land in the attacking tile causing reduced suppression, and shots that land in an adjacent tile causing further reduced suppression. Let's take a moment to get an idea on what this looks like in real time.
Taking casualties, Major.
She was cheap.
Major We need cast.
The Kuta runs!
Good job, Marines. Let's take it home.
Once you've completed the mission, you'll choose your reward, equip or upgrade your squad, including filling in any positions for any squaddies you may have lost, and it's on to the next mission. We hope this gives you an idea of what to expect when you dive into the Menace demo. Be sure to check it out on Steam, and don't forget to wishlist the game as well. And again, if you prefer a written guide, check the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and enjoy your time with Menace.